Hello.
Hello, how are you
Hi,
doing
Mary.
today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
You remember me?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Have you seen your video?
I did.
You did? Did you like
Yeah,
it?
I did.
Yeah.
I think I started following you.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, how have you been doing since then?
Good.
Yeah.
Just working, very busy right now.
Yeah. I don't remember what work you do though.
That Italian restaurant on the
On Fifth?
Thomason, where you dropped me off, remember?
No.
That I had a
honestly.
work meeting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sort of. The problem is that I drive so many
people, yeah, it's hard to
that
keep up.
I start confusing the stories and the faces. Hey, I'm 56, so
It's understandable. I'm a
little
waitress
bit.
and I have a lot of customers coming to me. Hey, Mary, how you doing? I'm like, hi. Do I know you?
Exactly. It's funny. Now the question is, what are we gonna do with the video though? Are we gonna like, because this is the first time that I have somebody for a second time. Shall we publish it again, or should I just do one video per person? I'm not sure. I guess we should just publish it again if you want.
It's up to you. It's your channel. You know you have my
Right?
permission.
I haven't thought. Oh, I do still. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I appreciate that. I put a better microphone.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, when I walked in.
Yeah.
But I
Sound-
thought the other one sounded good too.
Oh, it did?
Mhm.
Oh, you know what? That is really interesting. Now I can compare the two clips with the same voices of the same person.
Oh yeah, you can
With
do
two
that.
different microphones, I can see which one sounds better.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Yeah.
How is the people's thought about your
So
video?
everybody likes the idea always when I mention it. Most people agree to get published. It's just I don't have time to edit all the videos. Late at night, I'm still like bent over the computer editing all that stuff. Like, you know, like when people have a phone call, you have to edit it out, and you know, little things like that. Or when it's too long, too quiet, I edit that out. And people like the idea, but they're not really following yet. So another thing that I noticed is as soon as I stop publishing, the number of views just drops to zero. So
You have to constantly keep.
you have to constantly, every day, publish a few of these rides, and then people keep watching.
Maybe then you start getting money from it.
I hope so.
That's
I
the
hope
goal.
so. Yeah, I don't think I'll get rich from it, but a little extra.
Yeah, a little extra money doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I would also like if it would, like I fantasize like if it would be really successful, and I make a lot of money with it, I would like Mr. Beast, like want to give it away to people in need.
Yeah.
You know, things like that.
That's
I
nice.
wouldn't want to live in a big mansion and all that stuff. No. I'm actually pretty happy driving for Uber and my other job, so I don't really need the extra money.
Just fun.
The camera is just for fun. It's just a hobby at the moment. But hey, yeah, you never know, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people that get very rich on YouTube and
Yeah, doing stupid things. At least this is something that
oh, maybe that's what we
interesting.
should do. We should do stupid things.
you should have like
Okay.
challenges and like have your customers or riders wear like silly hats and stuff like that to make it more fun.
Karaoke. So like I'll give you a microphone and we'll put on some music.
I will
and
pass so hard.
It's true though that I'm a serious guy though, and I just at work at Uber, and so I'm not sure I'm entertaining enough of that. But it's true though.
You can make your riders entertain.
Say that again.
You can make your riders entertain the
Me?
videos.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me a joke.
Your jokes are like I said with the silly hats or silly like little. You know, there's some costumes that is just like a little rope.
Uh-huh.
So you just make them do silly things if they agree, of course. Have you gotten
Yeah,
any?
but then it's not spontaneous Uber ride anymore. Then
Oh,
it's
yeah, that's true.
set up.
Yeah, it is true.
I mean, you and I, we can make a deal like I'll pay you some money. You attack me. Okay, and I'll scream real loud. Now we get a great video and I get a lot of views.
I've seen one kind of like that on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's every video is the same. It's saying, oh yeah, this rider canceled on me mid-ride. He's trying to get a free ride, and then at the end he kicks him out of the car. And every video is the same. I'm like, there's no way that happens to you every time.
No, that's true.
But for some reason, it gets a lot of views.
Gets a lot of views, yeah. And then, you know, maybe he makes good money and he makes a deal with the passenger or something. I'm not gonna get into that.
Yeah.
No, I'm really enjoying like just having conversations. How you doing? Where you from? What, you know, just the little details from people. It's amazing. The other day I had a person like she was having cancer, pancreas cancer, and a lot of people survived that, but she was a survivor of that cancer. And she told me about her hard fight and everything, and how people around her were really supportive and all of that. And I don't know, those stories, they touch me, and that's really why I'm doing it, you know. Stories like that. I'm just such a normal person, I think, that I enjoy those kind of stories. Actually, talking about you, Mary.
Yeah.
Well, where were you from again?
Venezuela.
Venezuela. But your English is perfect.
I was a teacher, an English teacher back in my country.
Oh, you were an English teacher in Venezuela?
Mm-hmm.
So how much did you make per month?
It wasn't much. I can't remember right now because it was such a long time ago.
Oh, was it?
But it wasn't much.
Long time ago. You're 28?
Right now I'm 30.
You're 30?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, pretty close.
And in my country you graduate fast, so I was 22.
You were teaching already at 22?
Mm-hmm. You finish high school at 15, and right after that you can start college.
You finished high school in Venezuela at 15?
Mm-hmm.
At 15 you're still a girl. You're not a woman yet.
You
like
mature fast. you mature fast when you have to do these things like that.
And then do they have that like quinceañeras?
Yeah.
Oh, they do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is so cool. Like this like big party for all the 16-year-olds.
Yeah, I was always
15-year-olds,
I was
right?
never your regular girl that wanted all these big things.
No?
I told my mom I didn't want one.
You didn't
but
want?
she forced me into it.
She did?
Yeah.
It's really for the family that you're doing it for.
I know, but I just never been like
no, you're not
like social like that. Like when I graduated from high school, I didn't celebrate a graduation either. She wanted to, but I didn't want to. I graduated from English classes that I took before I started college. Because to be able to start college, you have to have some knowledge.
Sure.
So I took classes, and then I graduated from that, and there was a big thing, but I never wanted to go either. So I just never big on parties.
So you have your bachelor's. You have your bachelor's degree in Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that also worth a bachelor's degree here in the U.S.?
I think so, but you have to translate everything and kind of have it validated in the U.S.
Because now you work at a restaurant. Well, would you rather be a teacher again?
No, I only wanted to learn the language.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the whole point of me going to college for it. Just wanted to learn the language.
Oh,
and since it was a career, then I was like, okay, might as well just do it. It wasn't really my passion. I just loved the language.
But at that moment when you chose to study English, right? Were you already having the idea I want to move to the US, or how did that move happen for you?
So I don't know if you know what's going on in Venezuela with the crazy president, capitalism, and everything.
Inflation.
Yeah. So I didn't have any idea about English. So let me show it from the beginning.
Okay.
Why I wanted to learn English.
Right.
I was 14 years old.
Okay.
And I had a cousin that went to Canada to take some classes for English, and then he brought a friend. He was Korean. He brought a friend back to Venezuela for vacation after the courses were ended. And I wanted to talk to him, but I didn't understand English.
Okay.
And it was so frustrating for me that I had somebody from a different country that I wanted to learn more about, but I couldn't understand what he was saying, and he wasn't understanding what I was saying.
Because you were Spanish only.
So I learned English out of frustration because I couldn't understand somebody else. And after he left, before he left, I told him, watch, I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna be able to talk to you. Just watch.
Oh, you told him like that?
I told him like that because I had him
so
on
cool.
Facebook. And then at 14 years old, I started taking classes. And that's why it was easier for me to come here because I already knew the language. I started at 14.
Wow. You sure are determined. You sure like, but it was your frustration, I think, that you felt like, oh, I can't do this, but I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to meet. And it's your curiosity, I think, that you felt like, oh, I want to meet someone like that from another country, plus been with your brother and all of that. No, cousin, what was it?
My cousin.
Cousin. And yes, that triggered that in you that you chose English. Right?
So it was the frustration that I had not being able to express myself and know about somebody else's culture. Because how many times in Venezuela you meet a Korean person? None.
Oh, that was so interesting to you.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk to him. I don't know. And it was
Venezuela is
frustration.
not a country for tourists.
We have Chinese,
Okay.
Arab people, and Italians. That's it. That's all we have.
Italians? Why Italians?
Italians are everywhere.
Because it's true.
But yeah, that's all we have in my country. So for me to see a Korean person, I'm like, wow, like I want to learn more about everything.
That's different.
Yeah, so that it was the frustration that got me into learning. And then the English courses that I took, they were good, but I wanted to learn more. I wanted to learn how to pronounce better, how to write better, how to have a bigger vocabulary.
And that's why you
I chose
in college.
Yeah.
Okay. But then, so how did the move happen for you?
Okay, so after everything started getting really, really bad in my country, I started thinking, how am I going to be able to afford my own place? How am I going to be able to move out? Because I was 22 years old, I was still at my mom's house. And there's no way that you can even rent a place because everything is crazy expensive. And it doesn't matter how much you work, it's really hard to afford something.
Wow.
So I'm never going to be able to have anything of my own because...
You just didn't see a future.
Yeah, and especially being a teacher, you don't get a lot of money for being a teacher.
It's weird because teacher is a very honorable job.
No, teachers is the career that gives you the less money.
It's so weird, eh?
So
nowadays, that's even in the U.S. It's a little bit like that, I believe. But it's such an honorable job.
Yeah.
To take care of the kids, to raise children to good adults and things like that. It's such an important job, really, in society. You know. It should be a highly rewarded thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I give my kids every day in the care of all these teachers. I want those people to be good people, right?
Yeah.
And they can only be good people if they're happy people themselves and get paid well.
Yeah.
And I think they deserve it. Anyway, that's me just ranting. But okay, so you felt like after college, like this is not a future, and then you just hopped in a plane and went here? No. Because it's difficult to get here.
Yeah, that's what I did pretty much. Because I came here a few times before because I have a cousin that lives here. And I visited Naples because that's why my first stop was Naples and I stayed.
Wait, there was somebody here living here already?
Yeah, I had a cousin living here.
Cousin living here.
So I talked to her and I told her everything that was going on. I didn't tell my parents yet. I was just making all these plans with my cousin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she told me...
And your parents thought she's just on holiday?
No, they didn't even know I was coming here at all.
They didn't even know that you were here?
No, so this is me doing plans back in my country still. So I was just texting my cousin.
Oh, okay.
And telling her about all my plans. I was like, I want to go there. Like, I want to... At first, my plan was staying for 6 months. But that didn't happen. I'm still here and it's almost like 8 years.
There you go.
And I was telling my cousin that I want to go there, and she was telling me, well, why don't you sell everything that you have? And I'm like, well, that's the point. I don't have anything. Everything is my parents. She's like, okay, well, let's do something. I'll lend you the money, and when you come here and start working, you can pay me back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that sounds good. We did everything. I bought the plane tickets. My parents still didn't know anything at this point.
Wow.
And my trip was maybe like 4 months ahead. And then after everything was finalized, my cousin told me, don't tell your parents that I helped you because they're gonna get very mad at me. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Because seeing the little girl, because I was the smallest one in the family, and seeing the little girl going to a different country by herself.
And I must say, you do have a lot of oomph, as I would say, guts. You have a lot of, like we said before, determination in what you want in life. You just go out and get it. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
But here comes the moment. So here comes the day that you had to tell your parents.
Okay, so I separated them first. I went to my mom first.
Oh, smart.
And then I was like, Mom, I have something to tell you. She's like, what is it?
Oh, wait. By the way, I'm actually sort of surprised that you didn't first go to your dad.
Because my dad has a little bit more temper than my mom. And I wanted to go easy first before getting into the confrontation.
Oh.
Because my dad is very confrontational.
All right.
So I went to my mom and I told her, Mom, I have something to tell you. She's like, yeah, what is it? And I'm like, so, I'm leaving. She's like, what do you mean you're leaving? I'm like, well, I already bought the plane tickets to go to the United States and I'm moving. She's like, what? You're not doing that. You don't have anything. I'm like, I already have the plane tickets, and I show it to her. And I'm like, look, I'm leaving. This is the day that I'm leaving. And then she just started bawling. She started crying her eyes out, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like the worst person ever. Because my mom was crying because of me.
Sure.
And then she was like, don't leave, you're like my little girl. Is there something I can do for you to stay? And I'm like, Mommy, I'm sorry. This is a decision that I already took. I'm leaving. I'm sorry, but I'm leaving. And she's like, I'm not gonna see you ever again. I'm like, Mom, I'm not dying. You're still gonna see me. I'm just moving to a different country. So that happened with her. She was sad. I told her not to tell anything to my dad yet.
Okay.
She was sad, but she was like, okay, I have nothing else to do. I told my dad the same thing. Dad, he's like, no, you're not. You're not going anywhere. And I'm like, I'm not asking you for permission. I'm 22 years old.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know that I'm leaving. And he was in denial, and he was saying no, and then who gave me the money? And I'm like, doesn't matter who gave me the money. I got the money. And I'm leaving. There's nothing you can do to stop me because I already made a decision. And at the beginning, he was in denial. He was saying that I wasn't going to, but I did. And that's how I ended up here.
Jeez. I love your story because it's so like determined, and it's so true. At 22, you have a right. And parents aren't like that. They want to protect you forever, and they want to keep you forever, and
Hispanic parents are a lot more protective.
True, especially of girls. Yeah, women, yeah. Hey, and so how's your relationship with your parents right now?
With my dad is not the best, but with my mom is great.
Okay.
My mom always texts me every day and everything, but my dad, I don't know, my dad and I never had a very good relationship. He was a little bit of abusive, and I never agree with his ways, but there's nothing I can do to fix them, because if he doesn't want to fix himself, nobody will.
That is so true. Amen to that, sister. You gotta wanna change yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody can change him except him. And if you're not seeing that he's not willing to do that, then I can imagine that you want to keep your distance.
Yeah. The relationship wasn't that bad until one day he really, really hurt my feelings. So many years ago, I got pregnant and I lost the baby at 2 months.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I was already getting a little weight for the baby. And 1 week after losing my baby, my parents were in town. And then the first thing my dad told me, you're gaining weight, you're getting fat, and your husband's gonna leave you. And I was already very hurt because I lost my baby a week ago, and then my dad tells me this. And I get so mad, and I told him I don't want to talk about it. And then I go into my room, and then he starts knocking on my door really hard. And I told him, stop, like, I don't want to talk about this. And he starts yelling at me, and then I open the door and pretty much kick him out of my house. And I'm like, just leave. I'm not, this is my house. You're not going to come here and disrespect me. You can leave. There's the door. And after that relationship was over.
This is, yeah.
And that's
Wow,
why
but that
I
must have
cannot
been a
fix
very
my dad.
difficult- No. But that's also a very difficult thing. I mean, this is a very emotional thing for you to... Here we are, right?
Yeah.
To having to go through that, losing your baby, and then your dad reacting like that. Wow.
Yeah. Instead of supporting me, he was just telling me that I'm getting fat and your husband's gonna leave you.
Well, I hope that in the future he will change for the better and you guys can reconcile. I hope they get to visit you one day here. That would be wonderful, no?
But not staying in my house.
Yeah, okay. We'll talk about that next trip.
All right.
Nice talking
Thank
to you
you.
again. All
Have
right,
a good
Mary.
night.
You too. Bye-bye.